G'day mates, I'm Brent.
Kia ora, I'm Jenny.
Okay, so today we're at Warren Dunes State Park.
And behind us is Lake Michigan. Today we have a story which is stranger than fiction.
That's right, inexplicably this resort beach area is associated with one of the most bizarre crimes committed within the United States. So come with us and learn how this place is associated with crime, grave robbing, extortion, smuggling and counterfeiting.
That's right, and it involved a very famous US president.
Yeah, so let's go find out what the hell happened here.
We are on the way. The story of Warren Dunes started 10,000 years ago.
Yes, that's right. So as the glaciers retreated from the last ice age 10,000 years ago, it left behind all of this ground up sand and everything else, which is here right beside Lake Michigan.
During Prohibition, smugglers ran booze across Lake Michigan, straight from Canada to these quiet shores.
Prohibition spanned from 1920 to 1933 in the USA.
And what was happening is they were bringing whiskey across Lake Michigan and it was being brought into the United States all along this coastline here. There were two towns that were highly involved in this endeavour.
Bridgman and Sawyer were heavily involved in bootlegging.
Our story starts some 55 years prior to the bootlegging of the Roaring Twenties. Our main story commences after one of the most significant historic events occurred in the United States of America, the American Civil War.
Which started in 1861 and ends on April the 9th, 1865.
Really interesting, or probably quite sad fact is the serving president at the time was, of course, Abraham Lincoln. So the war finished on April 9, 1865, and then he was assassinated 6 days later on April 15th, 1865.
He didn't even have a chance to celebrate his victory.
Yeah, I guess perhaps he was out at the theatre celebrating his victory. Maybe.
Maybe.
So 11 years after Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, Big Jim Kennelly, a gangster from Chicago, had one of his engravers pinched by the law and he was placed into custody. Now Big Jim needed to have his engraver back so that he could continue to forge US dollars. And he came up with his master plan.
And the great plan was to steal Abraham Lincoln's body from Springfield, Illinois.
So of course the plan was steal Abraham Lincoln's body and then take it to Warren Dunes where they had a hideout and then ransom the body back so that they would be able to get their engraver out of prison, and that was the master plan. So Big Jim Kennelly organised a couple of thugs to go and take care of this work for him. So Big Jim, he recruited 3 guys to do the job for him. The first one was Mullen. He was a saloon keeper and a small-time criminal. The second one was Hines, and Hines was part of his counterfeiting ring. And there was a third player, and that's where things started to go wrong.
And the third person was Louis Smiggles, not Gollum, and he was a Secret Service informant joining the gang.
Right, so of course they travelled down to Springfield in Illinois.
To Abraham Lincoln's crypt.
And they broke into the tomb through the door. Now the front door is no longer the front door because they've changed it all around. But I've got some footage here of where the old grill was actually cut out from in front of the door so that they could break into the crypt.
This was the entrance door to start with, but because the thief tried to rob the body, they changed it into a window now. And the entrance is on the other side.
And you can actually still see remnants of the old grill where they cut it off here and they cut the steel off at the top there as well. And this piece of marble at the bottom here is new. And the window is, of course, you can see it on when you're inside. Now, they got into the crypt and then all hell broke loose. The feds were on them and arrested them all on the spot. So, ultimately, Big Jim Kennelly's plan to abscond with Abraham Lincoln's body, hold it for ransom, get his counterfeiter back, and they were hoping to secure $200,000 in cash as well. Failed. They were all rounded up and they all ended up in prison. A 15-foot deep pit was dug in the crypt and Lincoln's body was placed at the bottom in the sarcophagus, and reinforcing steel and concrete was poured in over the top. And thus that was the end of anybody being able to try to steal Lincoln's body from his tomb. So that's how a resort up by Michigan Lake is linked to all of these different crimes. So if you come down to Warrendoon State Park for a swim or a sun bask on the beach, have a little think about its history, because the history here goes deeper than just being a nice beach to go and spend the day and have a barbecue and a swim.
But it is very hot in summer.
It is unbelievably hot right now. We are sweating. We're about to get back in the car, put the air conditioning on and go home. So guys, thanks for watching. See you next time. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit the keyboard, hit yourself. Don't hit the wife. See ya. Oh, you're still here. You might like one of these videos next.